And I'm gonna throw everything off of the usual schedule, so I am not starting with the puppet show. I'm actually starting with going outside and collecting leaves. So if you're all gonna panic, you should tell me that now, but you're gonna panic. Okay,
Yes.
so the puppet show,
I just found that like little kids, they get centered and know what their goals are with the puppet show. And
The
outside
puppet
and
sh-
inside is hard.
the puppet show has no information that's gonna help them do any of the activities. The puppet show is gonna focus on, you don't have to do it the way I do it. You can do anything you want in the classroom. I'm just going to say that we're gonna collect these leaves, we're gonna look at these leaves, and then you're gonna find out why plants have leaves, instead of doing it the opposite way, finding out their purpose before you know anything about them. So don't think you have to do it like this, but we do need leaves for all the other activities. So I would break my class into 3 small groups or more if I had more volunteers in the classroom. Each adult would get a small group, and our task is defined. And we're gonna stay in our small groups. We talk about boundaries, where we can go and not go to collect these leaves. I would also talk about being safe, being kind, and being gentle outside. And the big thing I would talk about is there are certain plants that you shouldn't collect the leaves of because they're poisonous. So, or they're gonna cause a rash. And so every group and you should identify if your schoolyard has any of these before you start to panic. But the 2 that are really important around here are, well, you might know one of them, you might know both of them. Poison ivy.
Nettles?
Stinging nettles, I actually don't, they do sting, but the one that I worry about is cow parsnip or poison parsnip, because it has a phytophoto reaction. If you touch it and you get the juice on you, and then you're in sunlight, you can get really serious blisters and burns. So those are the 2 that I really want kids to know about. I doubt you have poison parsnip because it's so well mowed.
There's plenty around Allenburg.
Yeah, there's Allen.
Oh.
Around Allen, yeah.
Okay. I looked around here, I just walked around once when I came to the library, and I was like, oh, that's not a problem. I don't know about poison ivy. So every group I would give a sheet. Well, I'm gonna give you all this sheet. Poison ivy's on one side and poison parsnips on the other. In different parts of the state, wild chervil
Right now, it
is a
doesn't look-
problem,
it
but it
doesn't look
hasn't
yellow.
really made it
This is
up
what it looks
here.
like.
Parsnip looks
It's
like
brown.
it is dead now, so it's.
It
I
is?
don't know if it's
Yeah,
still-
but
It is dead, but it's a biennial, so it actually sends up green leaves around the base of the dead plant that you shouldn't touch.
But this is what it looks like.
So, poison parsnip, wild parsnip really, is gonna look like this giant Queen Anne's lace, and it's all gonna be dried out now. At the base, it gets these leaves, which are on those pictures. They look kind of like celery-ish leaves with more leaflets on them. If you see the dead stalk, don't go near the plant, and if you see anything that looks kind of leafy like that, don't pick that either, because that still has the juice in it. Poison ivy, the whole thing I tell the kids is leaves of 3, let it be. There are other plants with 3 leaves, we're just gonna miss those this time because we don't wanna confuse them with poison ivy. Poison ivy this time of year also is beautiful, it turns red, has lovely white berries, but stay away from leaves of 3, that's the big thing. Tree leaves, because they're gonna fall off, I let the kids collect tree leaves. Again, we're trying to find as many different kinds of leaves with different shapes, with different edges, with different sizes, because we wanna look at a variety of leaves. So I'm not having them strip all the leaves off one tree. As our small group, we're gonna collect 1 or 2 of the maple leaves and 1 or 2 of the oak leaves. And because they're all gonna be falling, I don't have a problem with collecting it this time, because sometimes I'm like, oh, don't take that off the plant because the plant needs it. The plant is actually getting ready to get rid of it, so it's okay to collect. Does anybody have any questions about the leaf collecting that we're gonna be doing, or the poisonous plants, the 2 plants we should avoid? So in small groups, I usually give the kids, and I'm gonna give you, paper bags to collect their leaves in. These have seen lots of wear, so they might not, so each small group is gonna have one of these. I'm gonna pretend that you have an adult with each one of your small groups. Well, you do. So you're a small group of kids with 1 adult in the group. So you're gonna be all together working to collect these leaves and not destroying the plants and being safe, being kind and gentle. And for about 5 to 10 minutes, we're just gonna collect a variety of leaves. And these leaves we're gonna use for actually almost all the other activities. I did collect a whole bunch of leaves yesterday. I got carried away though. Like I told you earlier, like, look at these. I just couldn't stop. Like, I was like, oh, that one's beautiful. Oh, so is that one. Oh, this one's even better. And that, so the kids might get carried away when they get to a tree like this, but I'm trying to get diversity, not all one kind of leaf. Does that make sense? So every team is gonna get a bag. I'm gonna go out 2, and I think in about 5 to 10 minutes, we should be able to collect a bunch of leaves. Does that sound? Okay. So I actually have more than, each group can have a couple bags. Okay, are you ready? Work with your groups to find out what's safe, kind and gentle while you're outside. And